crafty friends! Thank you for stopping by. Today we're diving into a fun slimline card using some stash leftovers plus the gorgeous Lush Botanicals African Daisy set. I am pairing it with a sentiment from the Wholehearted Sentiments Mother Day edition. My card base is 3.5 by 7 inches. The embossing folder is the one from the Fruits and Flowers project kit, and the cardstock colors are Lagoon and Lemonade Stand. For the inks, I got Pinkalicious and Red Jasper, plus some Crystal 3D gel and Enchanted Gold pigment ink for extra sparkle. Let's start with the sentiment. I am stamping it with Obsidian pigment ink using a die cut jig to get a super crisp impression. This trick never fails. Then I'll stack a couple of extra dies behind it for dimension. Now, since this set doesn't include foliage, I went stash diving and found the leaves from the Craft a Flower Aster set. Pretty close to match. Looking at reference photos, African Daisy leaves have that slight rubbery succulent vibe, so I'm adding a layer of 3D clear gel to mimic that texture. You could totally swap this one for clear embossing powder too if you prefer it. Applying the gel gets a little messy, I'm not gonna lie, but my perfect picker tool saves the day. Once these are done, I set them aside to dry completely. While that is happening, let's move to the petals. I embossed Lemonade Stand cardstock for the layers. I did experiment with inking the embossing folder for extra detail. Didn't use it in the end, but hey, now you know how to try it, right? Since the die and embossing don't align perfectly, I am doing a bit of fussy cutting to get everything aligned. Usually, I die cut first, then emboss. And yes, it is still my favorite method. But this works too. Quick tip, add a piece of bubble wrap behind your cardstock for a cleaner die cut. I lost a bit of the detail in the flower center, so I re-embossed it and added a touch of gold pigment ink. Love that shine. Now for the fun part. I am blending Pinkalicious from the center outward for a soft gradient. Then I will add Red Jasper around the center of the flower for depth. Starting at the middle really helps that blend look smooth and natural, don't you think? I did go back and add a little extra detail to the petals with a fine brush and Rubelite for more contrast. For the background, I am embossing a piece of Lagoon cardstock that is a little bit longer than my embossing folder. So I will run it once, rotate it, and finish it off. It is really easy to do. Okay, heads up. This embossing folder shrinks the paper on the vertical axis. So I trim the edges on the left and right side to keep my borders even. Time to assemble. My leaves are dry, or mostly, and I am shaping them a bit. The gel actually makes them more flexible. That is awesome. I turned my embossed blank piece into a table. Just trim it in half, angle one of the sections, and adhere it together, and it's ready to go. I attached my panel with double-sided tape, then added the table. arranged the foliage before placing the picture against the background. I also trimmed and doubled up the stems to create a sturdy base for the flower. Now the flower comes together with liquid glue. I am gently curling some of the petals for dimension, just enough to bring it to life without losing that embossed detail. I always dry fit my elements before committing. I highly recommend this. Then I secure everything with foam tape for that extra pop of dimension. The leaves get a little curl and some adhesive to anchor them to the picture, and we're almost done. Finally, I add the sentiment with narrow foam tape, and I use a gold gel pen to highlight the center of the daisy. Such a pretty finishing touch, don't you think? And that is it. Bright, dimensional, and full of texture. I love how this one turned out. Would you give this a try? Please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to enroll on my next free workshop. This month, I'll show you how I transform a flat die cut into a 3D element. The enrollment form is in the description box. And if you're looking for more inspiration, check out these next videos for more. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, happy crafting!